Metatron's cube. So all creation comes from this. And this is one of the things that I did. I took a 24-point perspective. So if you took 4 Metatron's cubes, right? So you've got 6 points on each one that form this hexagonal form. If you do that in rotation so that you've got a 24-point, so you're just multiplying 6 by 4. So you're creating 4-point perspective against the 6 points. And you connect all the lines of that. It looks like an entirely mess, like a gigantic mess of entropic lines that it gets really confusing because you're like, what the heck am I looking at? But if you can put your consciousness into those lines, the complexity of all those lines, you might be able to see the shape of a square. You might also see the shape of a triangle, and most people can. You might see the shape of a pentagon because it's all in there. You might also see the shape of a hexagon, or all of the other potential shapes that could exist in polygonal form. But can you also then see a tetrahedron, which is the 3-dimensional version of a triangle? One way to easily say this. Can you see a cube? Can you see a dodecahedron? Can you see an icosahedron? Can you see a cuboctahedron? Can you see a rhombicuboctahedron? Can you see a Dürer solid? Can you see all of the different shapes that are there? And the degree that you can recognize through pattern recognition and then bold those lines, you are uplifting your consciousness and your ability to perceive higher dimension. So the more geometric forms you can recognize and track by looking in this mess of lines that looks totally entropic and it makes no sense whatsoever, and then bold those, to me, I call that a higher form of consciousness quotient. So the more of those lines you can recognize, you're pushing the boundary condition of entropy, which is really just ignorance, further and further away from you as you understand more of this divine encryption that is the universe that we live in. And then you start thinking, okay, so I am experiencing this oneness all around me and all of its different manifestations that are all geometric at their base. So who is the number one? And then you realize that you are.